When people hear the word profit, negative connotations often come to mind. For many, profits are the fruit of material greed, emblematic of inequality and the poor state of human nature. The different segments of society are almost incongruous when asked about the nature of profits. It is a dirty word, as India's first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru, declared. The media rarely portrays profits as anything more than a markup over cost, and pundits are often quick to demonize any corporation that earns more than a reasonable profit margin. Politicians offer a notorious example of this mindset. The demonization of profits is a convenient club to wield against the private sector. It shifts blame away from the government's own bad policies. For instance, with the US coming off high inflation, some of the country's political elites were quick to accuse corporations of price gouging, the practice of raising prices above what is fair. Never mind the data. Ignore money supply increases and put supply chain problems by the wayside. It's a lot easier to pin the blame on firms and businesses. These entities are driven by self-interest, which is deemed inherently bad. Give us more power, and they say, and we'll make sure these corporations never make profit at the public's expense, or so the narrative goes. This is not a phenomenon unique to the US. Parallels can be drawn with the rhetoric used by politicians in the Philippines during the recent sugar and onion fiascos. Economics be damned. Politicians have their favorite boogeyman, and they will milk it for all it's worth. Contrary to the negative connotations, no other mechanism elicits genuine intentions more than the profit motive. Let's momentarily set aside the complications of modern society and think only of a simple community where we are neighbors with bad blood against each other. In this community, we have additional roles. I am a seller, and you are a buyer. Since I want your money, I offer you my product. Given our history of animosity, you may be apprehensive about the quality and safety of the product. Perhaps you are worried about its quality or suspect that I have somehow rigged it to endanger you. However, you also know that I am greedy. You know that it is in my best interest to make you a regular customer. After all, to keep you coming back means to keep your money in my hands. Taking that into consideration, you can be assured of the integrity of the product. You know that my desire for profit is genuine, and I will never willingly compromise the product to your dissatisfaction, as that would sully our business relationship. Hence, you purchase my product. Now, that is a vast oversimplification of how greed acts as a guarantor of integrity and quality. The real world is never as straightforward as portrayed, and greed can lead to bad outcomes depending on the circumstances. However, that simple scenario demonstrates how the market system harnesses what is generally considered evil into a force for good. Greed, by itself, is a vice of character. Yet, under a free market supported by the proper legal and political framework, it becomes the driver of consumer satisfaction. Through profit, people are incentivized to use their faculties to satisfy others' wants and needs. In a world where the only incentive to produce is gratitude and goodwill, not much will be produced. Such a world does not exist or, if it does, cannot sustain civilizations for extended periods of time. The caveat here is the framework of laws. Greed can be used for good when the means to satisfy it are through providing for the desires of others. In the complex interplay of economics, motivations, and human nature, the profit motive stands as a powerful force that, when harnessed properly, can propel societies forward and ensure the satisfaction of countless individuals. So let us challenge the negative connotations and embrace the potential of profit as a driving force for positive change. Subscribe Libertarian Facts.